Welcome back. This is KNG to the JEH of Wall Street. So today we're going to be talking about how I structure my risk on every single trade. Now this is BTC USD and I zoomed it out on 30-minute time frame. You can see that we have this trend line here that price has always been rejecting from, and now price has rejected on this trend line 3 times, right? And I want to take a sell. So if I'm to sell on this place, how am I going to structure my risk? Well, first of all, risk is defined by how much you are willing to lose, and secondly, how many pips is your stop loss. That's within how many pips, if price go against you, are you willing to lose that certain amount of money and close out. Now this is where I do my analysis. So if you look here, you see that price cleared this low right here, right? And then when it came here, it did same thing. Ouch, sorry. It broke this other low over to here. We have this break. So what are we expecting from this? We're expecting this to also come and break here. The only thing that will make us expect a change of character is if price comes and takes out this high, which we're not seeing any sign of that now. This is pure technicals. Now, first TP should be somewhere here, just in case. Right? Now, this is perfect. Now, the next thing, you can also target somewhere here also for a start. So this is going to be like TP1, this will be like TP2. I'm never supposed to be using this. I'm supposed to be using this longer lines. Just give me a minute to change that. Okay, I think we are cool. Now the next thing is to go down to a lower time frame, probably like 5 minutes, and we have to find a good point of interest that we are going to use. Now, if you look here, you see there was something like this yesterday, our extreme POI with this as our liquidity. I actually highlighted this as a resistance, but since we have looked out for the trend line, I don't think there's need for that. Now, price is trying to create the same thing here because it's not yet ready to sell, so it has been pulling back and pulling back. But one thing you should note about this pullback is that there is an obvious, let's say, like a change of character, and price was not breaking structures to the upside. Price did not clear this high here, right? Despite the fact that it came up once here, came down, came up again. So where this is an obvious sell because price is failing to break up. Now, where do we take this sell risk from? We are going to come over here. Let me reduce this trend line. If I go down to 1 minute, you see we have this nice breaker block right here. We have an indecision candle here. It will be easier to put your entry here, right? But I prefer to leave my entry here and put my SL above this high. After that, let me see 3-minute time frame. Yes, we have this 3-minute order block. So I guess we are complete at this point. So what's the next thing? The next thing now is to calculate entry, SL, and TP. You can see here, entries from the right hand side. Entry will be 64,868.1, SL 64,930.1. After that, what next? Place your entry and wait for price to cook, or wait for price to hit your SL, any one of the above. So most times if I'm trading BTC, I like to remove all these 0.10 point whatever at the end. I just like to leave it as a pure price, because whether you put point in BTC, it doesn't mean anything, honestly. And sending a signal, it's easier to just leave it at the 1,000. So 64,868. I'm going to go to MT5 now. Let's talk about sizing positions. 64, then 64,930 as SL. Oh my god. 64,930. What am I even doing, safe? Okay, yes. Then I'm going to delete this that I use for the Excel. Then take profits. First one is going to be here, and that's 16 risk to reward ratio. So my stop loss on this trade is, how many points is that? But anyway, 64,868 and then 64,930. Let me go to my trade, my MetaTrader. So right now we are on it, and our sell is taking place, and our sell is ending just here, and it's starting from somewhere here, which we got on 3 minutes. We have a 3 minute order blocked right there. You see, that's just it. I think 64.8. I think it was 848 we used. So if someone wants to take this trade right now, the person is going to use, you see, for example, this is 0.01, and my risk at 64,930. But I'm going to make it a little bit higher because of spread. You see, this is 1,300. Right now, you have selected the size. I've selected the size of my pip, that's 92 pip. And then now I'm going to calculate my risk. So let's say totally my risk on this trade is supposed to be, let's say 100,000 naira now. I'll now have to come and edit my lot size. So like this. I'm now going to edit my lot size to the particular lot size that will allow it to be, let's say 1. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Okay. And here you see, if we use one lot, it's going to be 130,000. So let's bring the lot down minus this. Until we have the risk we are looking for, or something close to it. Okay, 99,700. Now this is perfect. So what do you now do? You calculate your take profits. You can decide to just place it first. Place sell limit. After that, based on where our take profit line is, this trade is supposed to be able to print this amount of profit for us. Drag it down. Okay, so right here is actually a 10 risk to reward ratio because I had to shift the SL a little bit because of spread, which is totally fine and okay. And that's it. So we're gonna wait for the play out of this trade, and I'll see you next tomorrow.